Hard Hat's all about showing up to play hard, doing what it takes to win.
If you want to cement legacy, win another.
He's your third center.
You don't want to pump him up too much, but it's hard not to.
This is maybe the most I've ever agreed with you.
Hey, Bobby Manning here with a Tuesday as we record this edition of the Garden Report. Kayla Burton's here. We're both fresh off the media game that I'm sure everybody's seen by now, the highlights and the many more lowlights on our side in a 57-4 loss to the Celtics coaches. So I'll give ourselves this before we even get into it. We didn't know this was going to be the case, us going against the coaches, until pretty much the moment the game started. So they were ready. They know each other. They have practiced together for years, and they're pros. And we just did what we could.
Okay, hold on. Let me dissect this. For starters, shout out all of us media who barely put up 4 points. First of all, I'm hurting and I need an ice bath and all the things, okay? The latest workouts that I do, solid core and maybe something in there and a nice little jog in the park. So shout out all the media members who showed up, or maybe.
So I'll say this. When I texted you, I was like, are you going to be playing? You're like, yeah. I was like, all right.
Well, it was crazy.
College player.
Off of covering like the UConn doubleheader exhibition game. And I was like, there's no way. I got home at like 1 a.m. and I was like, I'm not going to wake up and like go play. And I was like, you know what? Sure, it'll be fun. Let's do it. And then I hear, oh, we're playing the coaches. And I'm like, you know what? Here's me being the competitive spirit that I am. I'm like, heck yeah, let's bring on the coaches. Little did I know we were going to get full court pressed by former pros and recent D1 athletes that dunked on us, and we could barely cross half court. I mean, I was also gassed. Like, I kept checking my pulse because I just don't run those sprints. Anyway, it was a very humbling experience, to say the least. I'm so proud of Bobby, you, Noah, myself, everyone, John, who laid themselves out there on the line, just trying to make sure that we have some oxygen coming through our veins. But no,
So,
I mean, we took a hit.
We did. It was bad. Before we even got in the game, I don't know when, because we both came off the bench. I think it was like 12-0 at least by the time we got out there, because it was like 3-minute rotations. So we were in a big hole already. Kind of made me wish I started, try to.
I don't care if I started or finished. All I know is I'm the poster child of having a pretty fairly good closeout at the end, and homie just knocked it down like from half court right in my face.
So unfortunately, that was the biggest video that came out of the day.
Yeah, honored to Taylor. Thank you so much, Taylor. Which, by the way, where was he at? Okay. I know where you were, Taylor. You were filming from above. Why wasn't you behind down there on the court helping us?
I said that to him. And you know what I'm wondering too? Your guys, Drew Carter and Scalabrini, who we needed more than anyone. Where were they?
I don't know where Drew is at. Scal, I did text before. He's out of the state. And I was like, Scal, we need you. White Mamba, like, we need you. And I texted him, and he was like, I can't make it. I texted him after, and I was like, bruh.
So I don't know how much of a difference any of this would have made. Like, I wish I could have made a few plays early. Scal could have made some difference, but here's the thing. So I thought we could hang in there when I first heard this was going to happen. And then I'm in the warm-up, we're putting some shots up before we started playing. I saw Joe over there. I wasn't sure if Joe was playing. So I went over to him. I was like, you playing? He's like, yeah. I'm like, we're going to win this thing. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, we're going to think we are. He was like, I like it, but you're not. We're pressing. And when I heard that they were pressing, I went, uh-oh.
The whole time.
Because I know what that looks like. And it still shocked me just how overwhelming it was. Because, there's nothing we can even second guess, because we couldn't even get the ball in. We couldn't even get the ball over half court. They were all over us.
No, they won. All jokes aside, it honestly was like really fun spirited. Yes, the competitive nature in all of us. I'm disgusted with that score. But you know what? For all the people who weren't physically on the court on our side of things. I would love to see y'all lace it up against Joe Mazzulla and the #1 Division I former pro players. Please, like, speak your piece if you are out there with us playing. If you're not, throw it in the back.
So
I don't hear it. But all sassiness aside, it was fun. Like, we had a good time. I'm gassed. I have bruises. I need an ice bath. Joe also and the coaching staff, you had Jaylen Brown, like, the funniest thing that he said. He was like, "Hey, you guys ready to do a media post-game press conference?"
I wanted one.
You know what? I wanted one too. And I would have said, I wouldn't have even gone first because I would have been just trying to catch my breath because I have not run like that on the court in over a decade. So yeah, I think look, we had a good time. The media versus media game was definitely more realistic. That's where I felt like we could get, you had some shots. I was finally able to knock down a couple trays. Like, we needed to redeem
we got
ourselves.
that.
But those
Yeah, so we only
aren't
played.
out there. I need that.
They're coming soon.
Amen.
12 minutes. It was media versus coaches for 12 minutes. Obviously got out of hand pretty quickly there. I had a moment in that we only scored 4 points. It was Kari Thompson with the Globe and Bobby Kravitsky, who covers them for SI, I think. This is a brutal offensive showing by us. And there were a few moments, like there was one play where I had the ball like probably a few steps behind the 3-point line, and I should have just fired. Like, we just needed to fire away, get shots up.
Look up. Joe
I
came
know.
after and he was like, "You dribble with your head down." I'm like, I'm aware. I'm aware.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to complain because we knew what we were getting into, but they were fouling. Like, they were getting away with everything.
Too, though. Like, I mean, we had to. I tried to almost like beat the guy down just because I'm like, if the refs aren't going to call, this is the only way we have of getting a chance.
I don't even know if there was a ref. I don't think there was a single foul call.
In fairness to them, there were not a lot of calls.
So one of the few times we got up the court, I think it was the end of I don't know, the shot clock or maybe the end of like the first half or whatever we were doing. And I had Joe lined up, and we put this video out there, and I didn't know the shot clock was coming down, and all I really needed to do was just sort of turn and shoot over him if I could do that. But I just got like a giant shove. I'm just trying to hold on to the ball. Like, so much of this was just trying to hold on to the ball and not lose it. Mazzulla himself stole it from me 3 times, I think.
You know what though? I had a bunny that I could have made, and like I was right there.
That might have been the play.
That was gonna be the play. I was gonna redeem myself by saying, "Hey, we won 50 whatever to at least 6," and I had it, and I could feel like a 6 foot. I am 5'7" on a good day, 5'7" maybe 5'6" and 3/4. I felt this big dude just on my shoulder, and then boom! I was like, I can't even make a bunny. Here we are. But it was like, first of all, humbling experience because yes.
Yep.
When we are media reporting and kind of criticizing, asking critical questions, asking, why would you make a decision like this and this? And what? I don't understand why you wouldn't go drive it in rather than settle for a 3 or whatever. Joe and company, they were like, hey, let's host a press conference media. They didn't actually, but it is a humbling experience. I will say, if we could have at least had one pro or, Eddie Howe's, Scal, someone on our side, I don't think it would have been that much of a blood.
We needed some reinforcements. And, that is media. Like, they're on our side now. We needed one of those kind of guys. And so here was the lineup on the other side. Mazzulla, who played at West Virginia. Phil Pressey, who played for the Celtics and was pretty good. He was tough. Shamgar Jr., who blew me away. He was the one who hit the shot over you.
Dude,
he was defensively even.
He was like banking like 7 in a row. This guy was not missing.
Emil Jefferson, who played with Tatum at Duke. He was in some NBA camps too. He was overwhelming. Huge guy. DJ McClay. I mean, I was trying to get in on the boards against him. Wasn't happening.
DJ, I was actually probably most impressed with DJ. Not trying to underestimate. Just his paint presence. Like, my goodness. That he dunked, didn't he? He was the one who had the dunk. Yeah, he slammed it on us. And here I am trying to, like, box him out.
Who else? I mean, Tony Dobbins was Defensive Player of the Year over in Europe somewhere. This was a stacked lineup on the coaching
What's
side. But
do you know our roster, our resume for our guys?
we got Kayla Burton.
Don't even throw me out there because the Port Lehigh. I used to play basketball at Lehigh University. Lehigh. I'm sorry I didn't represent us, Mountain Hawks, well here today. It was a tough outing, but okay, Lehigh.
We had Noah Dalzell, Northeastern Club.
Yes.
Thought we might get a little more from her. Who else? Corrales. Man, Corrales. Overseas pro Corrales, but he's over 50.
How many years has it been? Like I'm trying to defend our crew. You know what I mean? I'm like, look at named and like the status and the resumes behind it. And then like basically team washed up versus team ace.
Yeah, and again, we didn't have much ball handling. That was the biggest issue by far. There were a lot of issues, but now we know what to expect for next year or next month. Joe wants to play to do this every month. I don't know if that's going to be in the cards.
Did he say that?
But yeah,
he wants to do this every month.
Yeah, Joe said a lot of things today. He was funny. He was in rare form. We did do media versus media. I want to talk about that before we get out of here and some quick thoughts from Kayla on the preseason so far. But first, a shout out to our sponsor, PrizePicks. And if you play fantasy, you know how it is this time of year. Your team's hurt, guys are out, you pick the wrong guys, you're in last place. All kinds of things can go wrong 5-6 weeks into the season. But with PrizePicks, you can build a new lineup every single week. And that's the beauty of it. I love playing PrizePicks for football season. Drake May is going to be in all my lineups right now, the way he's playing. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 player stats. So rushing touchdowns, passing yards, all of that. And it's the only lineup that offers stacks. So if you pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup, let's say May's passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns, you can pick them all in the same lineup now. So you can have Drake May 3 times if you want, only on PrizePicks. Follow other PrizePicks players directly in the app and copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. My favorite's the injury reboots. If when your player leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count it as a loss. And it's the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which are overhyped. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get 50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And this week, got some good stuff over there. As I pull it up here, 99% off Steph Curry max discount coming up over there. You can use 99% off to get 0.5 points. All you got to do is get 1 point from Steph Curry next week when the basketball season gets going. So that's going to be going on over there, along with all kinds of promos always going on the PrizePicks app. That's from October 13th through October 21st. So check that out over there. All right, let's get into the media game because that's where we actually had some fun. Media versus media. I think we were on opposite teams. So we'll start at the end. You guys were down 3. Try to get a playoff to shoot a 3. And we stopped you from even getting a shot. But the coaches were really mad. Joe was mad. Mike Zarin and a few other guys hanging out along the sideline that we didn't foul up 3. I was fine with it. I don't like fouling up 3 because you might foul the shooter. And they thought it was a no-brainer that we should have done that. I don't know what you guys were doing.
Well, so you guys were at the line, and then
that's where it really went wrong for you guys. That's where
it really started because we were talking about if you missed the free throw, get the board and call the timeout. We had 1 timeout left, and so we got the rebound, and I don't know if we like low-key dribbled or someone like got the rebound and like dribbled the ball and like. Because then you can't advance it, right? So Joe's like, no, like they got a timeout. He was on our side about it. Appreciate you, Joe, in that sense. After like,
yeah, because you guys were out of timeout seemingly. The ref said, and then Joe gave you a couple more seconds, I'll say, and the timeout.
Yeah, so we got timeout. I don't know how we got 7 seconds on the clock. Maybe like 3, but I think everyone was being a little bit more nice. So I remember going to the huddle and I'm like, all right, guys, we need a 3. And we're down. Well, we were down by 3, right? Yeah. So we needed a 3, obviously, with like somehow magically we get 7 seconds left or 6 seconds left. And we run. Well, we didn't run, but we attempted to run a play that would get either myself, John, or I forget who, maybe
Jay.
Noah. Yeah. Anyone at this point. Just get someone open for a tray. Like, we don't have JT out there. We don't have Jalen Brown. We don't have Derek White. We got us, which we love us. So we tried to set like a down screen to come up. Play goes to crap. I'm here dribbling at last second, like just feeling like I am swarmed. And I'm like, psh. So yeah, tough outing. I will say Joe at the end was like, yo, like, you know how when we had that Orlando game, it was the same situation. Do you remember that, Bobby? The Orlando game?
The one they lost.
Yeah. And it was all about, obviously, when they shot it, like the ball, the hang time and the air time, like ate up some of the clock. So they had like 3 seconds left. So it was cool kind of for him to say that. He's like, yo, remember like the Orlando game when we lost? Like this was the case scenario. So he was almost like reliving that with us, but we're just not the talent that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and these guys are.
I remember that, yeah. And then they had to throw it into Porzingis, and there wasn't enough time. Yeah, that was a tough ending to that one. I remember they couldn't check the time on the clock because there was definitely more time left after that one than there was. And then I don't know. That
Joe gave us 7 seconds. He was just trying to relive that experience.
Joe is great, yeah. And you know, we faced off a couple times in the coaches game. He was showing me some love through the players game. I was able to get a 3 to go, and he was yelling over from the sideline. And then
3 by Joe too to give you the assist.
Yeah. And then I think I got one in trade. So I might have had like 5 points, which, you know, it was a close game. So I was able to contribute to it. And I really wanted to win after how bad we lost the first game.
I just wanted to feel some type of normalcy because that was like selfishly.
It was nice.
I don't know. I played growing up in high school, Newton South, shout out Newton South. And then I played at Lehigh, and like, you know, games were competitive. I've never been on the other side of where we were getting smacked. The only one game was Ohio State. So maybe this was my Ohio State game. Because I was like, dang, like this is.
You were tough. I guard you a few times in the first step. You know, you were able to get by me a couple times there off the dribble. You know, you still got it there.
I didn't contribute to the 4 points that we scored, so I'm not.
No. I'm talking about the media game.
True, but appreciate you.
Yeah. So, you know, there were some other guys stood out there. Jay's always great. Noah was strong. Yeah, it was fun.
I have to give Taylor Snow some credit because I sent this tweet and I was like, hey, yo, Taylor Snow, where were you? Maybe we could have had 6. And he goes, think I would have actually brought the score down to 2.
You might have scored on the wrong basket.
Man, like you know, that was I'm kind of surprised that was the first like basketball media game. Was that the first basketball media to coaches game? Well,
For sure.
We haven't even. You know what? It may be the last.
Hey, if Joe wants to do it, maybe we can make some progress. Maybe we can start getting it closer. If we do this thing every month, I'm all for it. We talked to Brad briefly after for a couple minutes, and one thing he said that stood out to me, because I'm normally in pretty decent shape. I feel good going up and down. I don't get tired. I was so gassed, like you said, and the court's longer, I guess.
Even if the court were shorter, I mean, we weren't even, usually I want to play as much as I can. And I'm like, oh yeah, keep me, you know, I was like looking towards the bench being like, because
I needed a sub.
I go for jogs, like a 4-mile jog daily or whatever. I'm not like sprinting back and forth, but you know what? These coaches, God bless them. They are in fantastic shape. They full court pressed us the whole time. They didn't bat an eye, and they just back and forth, like defensive rebounds. I mean, they were in game planning. So, well, they didn't really have to because they were just like scoring the whole time, but.
It's been an interesting week. Celtics have been going at it for a week now themselves, and 3 preseason games in the books. I wish they actually played a team that put their starters out there. So it's a little tough to pull from some of these games so far. But they put up 130 on Sunday. They won the game in Toronto, or no, they blew the game in Toronto at the end there with all the turn. That's how we were playing. The end of that Toronto game was
Now we
pretty
can
much
make
what we
those
were doing.
references.
Yep. And then Memphis, they won. That was a really strong showing out there. But again, everybody was out on the Grizzlies so far in that game. What do you think so far of what we've seen? Word out of camp and just where they are? Because as we record this, they're about a week away from opening night against Philly.
Yeah, I'm really excited for week 1 or just like the start of it all. Listen, if they're playing at the fact that we went up against these coaches who are playing at a ridiculously intense, fast-paced offense and deep all around, I can't even imagine what the player speed is like for the Celtics right now. Because if we got a glimpse and a taste of like, oh, these are older coaches sprinting up and down the court, these players must be in ridiculous shape. And I think that, they're going to use that to their advantage. I think they should. If they're not front court dominant necessarily with like size, and we'll see how like Kayla and Chris Boucher and some of these bigger guys, like, implement their presence. I still think like them playing up tempo and playing fast pace will be huge for them because they can outrun teams and they can, they can run and gun, advance the ball. So I think they should focus on that. We saw that in glimpses in the preseason game, and I don't really carry that much weight in preseason games because, like you said, you're not really seeing the whole reality of it all.
Joe said today he wishes there were no preseason games, that it was all practice.
Yeah, because you're not getting the realistic nature, like I can understand that. Can I interrupt really quickly?
Yes.
I got a text from my WNBA.
I was getting a lot of texts today.
I am surprised. Usually I have a group chat with my family of like roast sessions, and usually I'm the one who gets roasted. I got a text from my little sister, Veronica, who plays for the Valkyries, and she goes, dog, DAWG, dog, you tripping in that Celtics video? I'm sorry, but that had me weak. I'm crying laughing.
I know. You got this. You got the worst of it today in the videos. I was second.
Also, why did they do y'all dirty like that? I don't know, Veronica. I don't know. But I went down bad. Okay. Like when you face all pros and all former D1 people against us, sometimes you're gonna get exposed. But shout out to all of us media who had the nerve and the courage to be exposed, to put ourselves out there. RIP.
I had fun. As painful as it was physically and emotionally. The pace point's great. They're 105 pace. I'm glad it's actually playing out and they didn't just say it and not do it. They've run. And I think that's going to be a fun style to watch this year. They're 12th in pace in the preseason. Last year, they finished the year like 29th out of the 30 teams. And they were down like a 91 pace in that Knicks series, which Brad pointed out after. And this is a roster that can run. Definitely going to have to make up for some of their deficiencies here. But in terms of the newcomers, before we wrap this up here, who are you most intrigued by among the new faces here?
I already got his name. Luka Garza. I really like, not newcomer to basketball, to the NBA, but like I really like his style of play. I think
this is his first chance to play too. He hasn't gotten minutes in other places.
That's why I'm excited to see him progress this year and not only progress, but like become a true reliable guy. Like I think, especially when you've been in the league and haven't had all the minutes in the world, and now you kind of get that chance or opportunity to compete for those minutes, the ball's in your court. Like, yeah, you can say, okay, this is Nemish like, position to lose or job to lose because maybe he's been here with the Celtics. It's a wide open competition is how I look at it.
I think so too.
But to look at Luka Garza, like, I just think he's like, he plays bigger than what he looks. I think he's like a good in paint presence guy who can hit from downtown. Can he get those and ones a little bit more? Yeah, I think that's something that he can work on throughout the season. I'd love to see him. But overall, I'm really hype about him, his game, and how he fits into the Celtics offense and defense. Like, I think he's going to be solid. I'm excited for him.
I'm going Chris Boucher. I think Joe loves him. He started on Sunday, which I know we're not supposed to read too much into, but he's played well. And just being around him, Like, I know, if you're able to go to some of the practices and stuff this year when he talks, Kayla, he's impressive. Like, you can tell this guy's won a championship, that he's the oldest player on the team. He's almost speaking like one of their vocal leaders so far. And it's no surprise to me that Joe's leaning on him. And I know Joe went to his baptism, and he wrote this awesome piece. I'm going to say, did you read it? The Players Tribune piece he wrote?
Yeah, not only did I read it, I like cried.
Yeah.
I thought it was the most heartfelt. It was an incredible piece on his background, him being homeless, taking a bus there and back, paying $5.75 if he could to just sustain sleep on the bus ride that night. Like, his story is chilling. And if you haven't read it, people who are listening, please read. Like, whether or not you like sports or not, like, it's a real humbling story.
Yeah, from St. Lucia, moved to Montreal, really struggled growing up there, went to Oregon. He played with Pritchard for a little bit there, tore his ACL, ended up with the Warriors. I think he got cut there, and then ends up on the Raptors and was there forever and just was a staple up there. They loved him up there. I was there for the preseason return yet on Friday. They did a nice tribute to him in French, and it was just really cool being around him to the first week here and hearing from him. And he's going to be a big player on this team. I thought it was a steal signing him for the minimum, and we'll see how long he stays beyond that. But definitely check out that piece. We got a lot of coverage to come. Wednesday night is the preseason finale against the Raptors again. Hopefully they'll actually play some rotation guys in this one. Although Jalen said like the backups are really pressuring them defensively that they've seen. So getting something out of it, I guess. She's Kayla Burton. You're going to watch her all over NBC Sports Boston's coverage this year.
You can watch me, but don't let me touch, my foot on that court again. I need another week to redeem myself.
Every month we're running it back, Kayla.
Gains. That's the
priority. I'll be on the treadmill for sure as we see whether or not that's going to actually happen here. Appreciate you stopping by. I was just sitting here. Everyone's tweeting about it still. Everyone's talking about it. So I was like, we might as well do a show. So thanks for jumping on a dime here. And we will have post-game coverage of Celtics Raptors right here on CLNS. So subscribe. Check out Noah's work over on WNBA Today. Great channel rolling over there. Patriots coverage over on our Patriots Press Pass channel. And a lot more going on as well. Bruins Rinkside, check them out as well as our Celtics coverage here on Celtics All Access and CLNS Media. That's it. We'll see you in a month when the media plays the coaches once again here. If Joe has his way.
I'll see you when I see you.
Peace.
No one's sneaking a vegan brownie by me, I'll tell you that.
Okay, you know what, John? We're going to do it.
You have to feel that way too, Bobby.
I have to feel that way. Let's fly Al over and make Luke your first center.
Bobby, we gave you Luke an hour early. We're not going to end this on a damn conversation about Luke